Okay, so this is to separate a couple that are married, basically. So I get a lot of bad feedback on these spells, but I want you to know that I don't do these spells often because I scrutinize the situation. I look into the situation, I see is it genuine, and then I make my decision whether I take the case on or not. So I'm really careful. And some people have been truly wronged in life, and the other person is off there living the high life. So it is to bring the scale back into balance again. And I'm all for that, because if you're going to sit and wait for karma to take place, you'll be waiting a long time. So what I've done is I've made puppets, one for her, one for him, little black dolls. They've been anointed with hate oil so that the two of them actually start to hate each other. They've been anointed with breakup oil as well. And I have a coffin. Now, the coffin is not to bring any physical harm to them. The coffin is to symbolize the permanent ending to the relationship. This is the petition, and it's also a divorce petition. Divorce petitions can be printed off the internet templates. It may not be the actual one that you take to court for a petition, but I fill it in as if it is the actual one, and it's all about manifestation. So I encourage you to do that. So yeah, the coffin, the coffin's not to kill them or anything like that. It's merely to uh, symbolize the end, the complete end and the destruction of this marriage. And I have a little heart that I'm going to pop some chili and cayenne powder. It doesn't want to come out. Story of my life. Damn things. That heart has been blessed in the guy's name, and we want to blacken his heart. Actually, I should have done this first, because I'm gonna end up uh, making myself sneeze. Just one moment. I need my little tongs. What I'm going to do is blacken the heart, and I do that by using tongs over a black candle. So I should have done that first, actually. It's a disgusting. Oh, it stinks as well. These little hearts can be bought in pet food supplies. I use the dried ones. I don't use fresh ones. I used to use the fresh ones, but I prefer these dried ones. They're easier to handle. At the end of the day, a heart is a heart, so it does not matter. But like I said, these are very, very easy to handle. So I'm going to put this over the flame of a black candle. And I'm using actually a bleeding candle. It's one of those black candles that bleeds out red. So I'm basically saying the name into myself. Your heart is now black to this woman. You have no feelings left in your heart. You have no emotions left. You have no love left. It is all over. It is all done. It's time to leave. You will leave as soon as possible. You will break up. You will never look back. You will end the relationship once and for all, permanently. So I have asked Santa Muerte to help on this one. Your heart is black towards this female. She means nothing to you. It is over. It is done. No matter how many times she comes back to you, you will always say no. Always say no. It is over. You have gone your separate ways. It is over. It is done. Okay. That really stinks. Oh, it really is rotten. Sorry. So what I'm going to do is just pop that in the coffin box. And I'm going to put a little bit more of this chili on it to... Sorry for the noise. What that does is creates issues in the relationship. Chili will turn up the heat, and it will seriously, along with some of this sulfur, cause discord. Okay, so what I'm going to do is pop the petition in at the bottom, and they're going into the coffin, and we're putting the guy in head up the way. So we're putting the female down, or their head at the bottom, so they're not seeing eye to eye. Okay, in between them in the coffin, I'm going to pop some more, actually I'll put some destruction powder in there. Again, it's kind of spell I would only consider doing if there's a genuine need for it. Okay, let's have a look. Some separation bits and pieces. Black dog hair. Again, this is to create arguments and fighting so that they can't take it anymore and they will part company. I'm still running solo on cat hair. It's not the easiest thing to get. Very fiddly as well. Doesn't want to come out. Jeez. Okay. I'm just going to put a little bit of lime on both their dolls, tiny bit, not so that it soaks through this coffin, just a little bit, to sour the relationship. And some black salt, that will darken it. If I can find it. 1 second. Okay, so I'm just going to pop some black salt on top of them. Graveyard dirt. So like I said, the dolls have been anointed with oils. Use whatever oils you have. A little bit of graveyard dirt to symbolize the end. And I'm just going to pop some dead flowers on top of it. Again, dead flowers is good. It shows the end. Oh, I thought I... oh, excuse me. Oh. I'll try and edit that out. That's cayenne pepper. Oh, wow. Anyway. So yeah, you've got something like this. And what I'll do is put a shard of glass up the middle between the two of them to cause a divide. You could use a shard of glass or a broken light bulb, something like that. You need something to, cause a divide between the two of them. And what I'll do is I'll burn a little black candle on this, on top of the box on a candle holder, and I will make statements of intent over the box, and the box will be buried in the graveyard because we do want a permanent end to this. I'm just going to see if I can get a piece of glass. Okay. Wow. Fragments of glass all over the place. That's all I need. Okay. So, just pop that in between them, like so. Ow. And then I'm going to just put something like that. And I'm going to put the lid on top of that. That will sit in Santa Marta's altar while I work on it for a little while. It's going to get bound with some yarn. Okay, and you're binding away from you. I just want to say to myself, it is over. It is over. It is over. It's over. It's over. It is over. This relationship is over. It's so fiddly. Over and done with. And so it is done. And I'm just going to pop 3 little knots on top of that. so. Quite a potent working. Oh gosh. Oh, I've got the biggest case of nose itch. And what I'll do is, like I said, I'll put a candle holder there, and if I get a tiny little black candle, I should have one at hand here. Second. Okay, so just anoint it in whatever little oil you have pertaining to breakups. And I'm just going to pop that on top of that, like that. There we go. And once I'm done, I will work on this for 13 to 21 days, not sure, and then it will be deployed in the cemetery. I have the luxury of a few cemeteries that are so quiet, especially a really old one. And I've said before in videos and on, I think it was my Facebook page, if you're interested, the protocol of the cemetery is basically coins at the gate for the watcher, and if you're using a specific grave, you need to leave an offering, something very discreet, or if you're just using it in part of the cemetery, you know, that's okay. And then on the way out, I always leave coins again for the guardian of the cemetery, and then I go home a different route, because you can get an attachment. Let's be honest, some of the spirits in the graveyard are not settled, and when I go into a graveyard, for me, it's crazy. When I go in, I just hear a lot of internal chatter, and I really have to zone out of it, because it's so active in there. For such a quiet place, you know, in my head, everything gets so active, and you know, I'm in the graveyard every other night, to be honest with you, and you just have to zone out of it. I'm sure practitioners that dabble in this, they know what I'm talking about. Maybe you're not actually hearing what's been said, but there's just something going on, if you know what I mean. It's very hard to put into words. It's like internal chatter, and yeah, sometimes I can hear things. Sometimes I can feel the draw towards a certain grave. A lot of the times, actually. But you know, I think it's very, you know, to me, it's a busy place, but at the same time, it's a very serene place. And you know, I love graveyards. I really like them. But it's not for everyone, of course, at the end of the day. But it's just to let everyone know, always leave an offering. That's very important. I would use coins. Sometimes I would use 2 pence pieces, or 5 pence pieces, or 10 pence pieces. Normally it's 10 pence pieces, just whatever I have at hand. And if it's a grave that I'm going to be using, I'll make sure that I leave flowers, or put a little bit of alcohol on the grave. I won't leave the bottle behind or anything like that. Sometimes they like a cigarette smoked. I don't smoke, but I let the cigarette burn down at the site. But I don't dig down. I try not to dig down into anyone's grave and stuff, because families, unless it's a really old one, and this, you know, the spirit wants that. You have to be careful with these things. You know, you really do. Most of the time, if a spirit wants to offer help, you can, you know, we're going down the field of necromancy now, but you can do that. But leaving offerings at the grave, and personally, I'm not a big fan of leaving things in the grave, unless it's a really old grave and no one comes to visit, because you could really upset a family, and they could end up getting the cops, all the rest. So, you know, do your research. If you're going to be working, make sure that grave is old. If it's not calling to you, don't touch it. Like I said, there's other places in the cemetery where you can deploy stuff. So like I said, the cemetery is a very active place. So yeah, it's just to let you all know that. But don't do workings like this lightly, and please cleanse yourself afterwards. do it for a couple of days to make sure the death energy is off you. Make sure that's if you're deploying it in the cemetery. You could go to somewhere else and deploy it, you know, like a swamp area, somewhere that's gross, that kind of thing, or a place where something negative happened is another good thing. I do that. I've got a specific place where something extremely negative happened. I deploy work there. But you know, use your initiative, use your intuition is probably what I was trying to say as well. Use your intuition, go with the flow, and yeah, that's all I've got to say. It's thehouseofmagick@gmail.com. Please like, share, subscribe if you so wish. You can find me on Facebook under the House of Magic. It's a private group. Up and coming group workings. I don't know when this video will go out, but there will be a lemon breakup coming up very soon. The lemon breakup spell is going to be for a limited amount of places. It's a working that I will be doing all, you know, I will take so many cases, say 5 for instance, and I will do that all in one night as part of a group working. So if anyone's interested in that, shoot me a message. I think this video will go out around the time of that, so I thought I'd mention it. So it will be a lemon breakup or a lime breakup. It's like what you see on the channel, on other people's channels, where the pictures are placed inside it with powders, roots, oils, etc. And sometimes I nail it closed, sometimes I bind it closed with black yarn. But yeah, that's at a heavily discounted rate because it's a group working. So it's just to let you know that that opportunity will be there. I'm trying to do more of this kind of thing to give back. I understand there's a fee and stuff, but it's not what I normally charge. I just feel that you know, some people aren't in a position to pay for spell work. They can, you know, afford these kind of amounts, and I think it's a good way of letting people, you know, try to obtain their wishes this way. So, have a good evening, and speak to you all again very, very soon. Be blessed.